Round 12 of the NBL will conclude on Sunday with a throwdown and also a battle of the Pacific Highway between Brisbane and Sydney. Now, before we get into anything, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give us a like, and write in the comments what you think will happen in these two games. Now, the throwdown, the third installment of the throwdown this season. Currently, the score's at 1-1 with South East Melbourne breaking a 6-game dominance by Melbourne United. In this Melbourne rivalry clash. Look, both of these teams are coming in after pretty bad losses earlier in the round. South East Melbourne gave up a 15-point third quarter lead to go down to Brisbane by 8 points, I believe. And Melbourne United had a bit of a shocker, shooting horribly in their match against Illawarra, and were trailing by 21 points at one stage before their bench made it look a little bit more respectable, but still went down by double digits. Look, both of these teams are struggling a little bit at the moment defensively, which is very, very odd ground for Melbourne United at least, who have averaged over 100 opposition points in their past 7 games, while South East Melbourne are in the same sort of rut. They started off really defensively under Josh King, but now, past 3 games, also averaging over 100 opposition points. Look, this leads me to believe that it's going to be a very high-scoring match between these two. Should set the crowd alight with a lot of offense, but based on basically the poor defense and a little bit of soft structure happening at both of these clubs at the moment. Look, I think Melbourne United are going to get up here. The power of Jack White, I think, will certainly lift Melbourne United. He had a bit of a quiet game, especially on the boards against Illawarra, while Delhi shot at 18%. So I expect improved performances from their 2 big stars, which will lift them over South East Melbourne in the first match on Sunday. Then match number 2, Sydney versus Brisbane. Look, Brisbane are on fire at the moment. Their imports are all hitting in their own respects, sort of taking turns at the moment of who's having monster games between Prather, Bateman and Cook. Look, they're coming up against Sydney, though, who are arguably the best defensive team in the competition. Brisbane have been hitting at an extremely high percentage in their stretch of 3 wins, averaging just under 60% from the field. But now they come up against Sydney, who are the best team in the competition, with offensive opposing field goal percentage at 4.7 and giving up the second least amount of points of any team in the comp at an average of 83.3 this season. So defense has been on the forefront of Brian Goorjian's game plan week in and week out, and that's what's been consistent for the Sydney Kings. So I'm backing that to hold strong. Sydney will hold Brisbane under their team total of 92.5 points, and the Kings will get the win in that battle. Now, expecting, big game from Xavier Cooks, who will go almost head-to-head there with Tyrell Harrison. Harrison has been playing extremely well, but look for Xavier Cooks to stamp his dominance down low and power the Kings to victory. They're your tips for Sunday in the NBL Round 12. Now, just remember, gamble responsibly and happy punting.